as the name itself indicates that maximum power will be transferred from source to the load. Maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when, case number 1, let us say if the circuit is like this. The source is having pure resistance and load is also having, so that is, this is source resistance, we call it as RS, load resistance we call it as RL. Maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when source resistance is, load resistance is equal to source resistance. This is the one condition. That means if the source is having a pure resistance, load is also having pure resistance, then maximum power will be, according to maximum power transfer theorem, maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when the load resistance is equal to source resistance. That is the first case. Second case, when the source is having impedance, that I'll call as ZS, which is equal to RS plus JXS. Source is having impedance RS plus JXS, where RS is the source resistance, XS is the source admittance or source impedance, source inductance or anything like that, source impedance. Now what is that we have is, let us say if the load is having a pure resistance, source is having the impedance ZS, load is having only pure resistance, and maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when the load is equal, load resistance RL is equal to magnitude of ZS. Magnitude of the ZS. Third case, when the both of them are having impedance, both ZS and ZL are impedance. That means source and load, both of them are having the impedances. If ZS is the source impedance and ZL is the load impedance, then maximum power will be transferred from source to the load. Maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when load impedance is equal to complex conjugate of source impedance. Complex conjugate. The star indicates complex conjugate of source impedance. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, right. So now, according to this one, what is that we have? When load and source are pure resistance, then this is the condition. When the load is having pure resistance, source is having impedance. Okay, so source has impedance, and load is pure resistance. Load has pure resistance. This is the condition. When the source resistance and load, both of them are having impedance, this is the condition. That means the statement will be like this, 2 marks. 3 steps to statement you should give. In any linear bilateral multi-source network, maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when the load resistance is equal to source resistance, one case. When the load resistance is equal to magnitude of the source impedance, third case, when the load impedance is equal to complex conjugate of source impedance. So proof of this one also they has asked. All the 3 they may not ask. Sometimes they will ask the third one. Sometimes they will ask the first one. Very rarely they are asking this one. Okay, right? Majority of the cases they will ask this one or this one. Very rarely they are asking this one, right? And proof any one of them they should give. Okay. For if they say that state and prove maximum power transfer theorem for the complex AC circuit, then you should do this one. Or generally they will say state and prove maximum power transfer theorem, then you do this one. That is more than sufficient, right? Now we shall go for the proof of this first one. One by one we shall do. Okay, right. Now, proof. First one, when load and source have pure resistance. So how to do this problem? So now what is that we can write it? Let us consider a voltage source Vs. The source is having the impedance, let us say Rs, source resistance, and the load is also having the pure resistance RL. Okay, right. So now find out the current IL. IL is equal to Vs divided by Rs plus RL. Okay, power is equal to what? Power is equal to magnitude of IL squared into, since it is complex value also we should consider sometimes. That's the reason why I have taken it as magnitude of IL squared into RL. So therefore power is equal to what? IL is what? Vs divided by Rs plus RL whole square into RL. Okay, right. So now IL squared into RL. Okay, maximum power will be obtained if you, that means this is the load. If you vary the load such that maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when the load resistance is equal to source impedance. That we need to prove. Okay, right? That's what the statement says. Okay, P max is obtained by we know that in the mathematics we said that maximum value of the any equation is obtained by differentiating and equating to 0. So therefore what is that we have? dp by drl. Since RL is variable one, load resistance, we should vary the RL such that maximum power will be transferred. Okay, dp by drl should be equal to 0. So therefore dp by drl is equal to Vs square into RL divided by d by drl of RL divided by Rs plus RL whole square, and then equated to 0. Okay, right? So differentiate it, which is equal to, this should be equal to 0. This is nothing but equal to what? Vs square into denominator whole square. Denominator whole square is what? Rs plus RL whole to the power of 4. Denominator Rs plus RL, differentiating it. Okay, Rs plus RL, denominator whole square, denominator Rs plus RL whole square, denominator into d by dx of numerator 1 minus numerator into denominator whole square, denominator into d by dx of numerator minus numerator into d by dx of denominator 2 into Rs plus RL into differentiation of Rs is 0, RL is 1, should be equal to 0. 1 Rs plus RL, 1 Rs plus RL, this is cube times gets cancelled. 1 Rs plus RL you take common, cancel it. So what will you get? Vs square is equal to Vs square into cross multiply this. If you cross multiply this, it will become 0. So therefore what will you get? Vs square into Rs plus RL to RL. Okay, right? RL minus 2RL is equal to 0. This equated to Vs square cannot be equal to 0. Therefore, what will happen? Only. So, Rs plus Rs minus RL is equal to 0. Therefore, RL is equal to Rs. So maximum power will be transferred when RL is equal to Rs. That is load resistance is equal to source impedance. So this is generally they'll ask for state and prove maximum power transfer theorem. If they say, then you do it for only for the resistance. Maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when the load resistance is equal to source resistance. That is the first point. Now go for the second one. So that is about the maximum power transfer. Second one, Second one we have maximum power will be transferred if source has impedance and load is pure resistance, then condition is what? RL is equal to magnitude of source impedance. Okay, right? Now let us take this. Now let us consider one circuit diagram wherein source has impedance ZS, which is equal to RS plus JXS, and the load is having pure resistance RL, and this is VS is the source. Okay, right. Now you find out IL. Okay, right. So now what is that we can write? According to this one, what is your IL? IL is equal to Vs divided by total resistance. What is that we have? RL plus ZS. RL plus ZS, which is equal to Vs divided by RL plus RS plus JXS. Okay, right. Okay. Power is equal to magnitude of IL squared into what is that we have? Load. Power dissipated in load, no? RL, we should take it, which is nothing but equal to, what is the magnitude of IL? Magnitude of IL is nothing but equal to Vs square. Magnitude of this one is real part square, square root of magnitude of this IL is RL plus RS whole square plus XS square, complex number, no? And magnitude of it square into RL. Of this one, what is that I have taken? Vs I have written as it is. This is a complex value. This is real number, real part, and the magnitude of the complex quantity is nothing but root of x square plus y square. X is what? Root of RL plus RS whole square plus XS square. We can get it. That is your power. P max is equal to maximum power is equal to P max is equal to what? P max is nothing but equal to differentiate. P max is obtained by differentiating dP if condition dP by dRL should be equal to 0. So differentiate it. dP by dRL is equal to d by dRL of dP Vs square divided by square and square root gets cancelled. Then what is that we have? RS plus RL whole square plus XS square into RL, and this should be equated to 0. Denominator whole square, RS plus RL whole square plus XS square whole square, denominator RS plus RL whole square plus XS square, denominator, into d by dx of numerator. D by dx of numerator is what? 1 into Vs square. Vs square is a constant as it is here. RL differentiation is 1 minus numerator Vs square into RL into d by dx of denominator. D by dx of denominator is what? 2 into RS plus RL whole square, and denominator into d by numerator minus numerator into d by dx of denominator 2 into RS plus RL. Differentiation of RS is 0. Differentiation of RL is 1 plus XS square. XS square is what? 0. So this should be equated to 0. Okay, right. Now what you should do? Cross multiply it. You cannot do anything. Cross multiply it, it will become 0. Okay, right? Then what is that we have? Expand this one. Vs square. Vs square divide throughout by Vs square. Right hand side is 0. Divide throughout by Vs square. This Vs square is gets take common and divide throughout by Vs square. Vs square is gone. Now you expand this one, a plus b whole square, rs square plus rl square plus 2rs into rl plus x square minus 2rl into rs. Sorry. Denominator whole square, denominator into d by dx of numerator minus numerator into d by dx of denominator 2 into rs plus rl. Sorry, 2 into rs plus rl into differentiation of rs plus rl is rs is 0, rl is 1. No? We got it. XS is correct. The square is the extra, right? So now what is that we have? Minus 2rl into rs and minus RL square is equal to 0. Minus 2RL square, no? Minus 2RL square. Okay, right. Minus 2RSRL plus 2RSRL gets cancelled. And 1RL square gets cancelled with this one. 1. So, plus RL square minus 2RL square, you will replace with minus RL square. So, therefore, what will you get? RS transfer RL square is equal to RL square, transfer to right hand side, RL square is equal to RS square plus XS square. So therefore, RL is equal to square root of RS square plus XS square, RS square plus XS square. This is nothing but what? This is nothing but RL is equal to magnitude of ZS, because we know that ZS is equal to what? RS plus ZS is equal to, as I given, RS plus JXS, because RS plus JXS, therefore magnitude of ZS is equal to square root of RS square plus XS square. That's what it is. So therefore, load resistance is equal to magnitude of ZS. When the load is having the pure resistance and source is having the impedance, this is the condition. So that's what the second condition is, right? So that is about the second condition. Now we shall move on to the third condition. Third condition, they'll ask the question. State and prove maximum power transfer theorem for AC circuits, you will say. Then you'll have to take both source and load having the impedance. Okay, right. So the third case, wherein both load and source are having the pure impedance. Okay, right. So it will be like this. Third case. When source and load having impedance. In the examination, question will be prove maximum power transfer theorem. Prove maximum power transfer theorem. Maximum power transfer theorem for AC circuit. Theorem for AC circuits. Okay, right. So now what is that we have is, we shall write down the circuit diagram. When the source is having impedance as well as load is having impedance. Okay, right. Zs is equal to Rs plus Jxs and ZL is equal to RL plus JXL. This is your Vs. Okay, right. Now, according to this one, what is the condition we proved? ZL should be equal to Zs star. That means load impedance is equal, maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when the load impedance is equal to complex conjugate of source impedance. That we need to prove. Proof for this. Proof. So what is that we should do? Now what is that? You find out IL. IL is equal to what? IL is equal to Vs divided by total impedance Zs plus ZL. Therefore, IL is equal to what? Vs divided by Rs plus Jxs plus, here both of them are variable. Okay, Rs plus Jxs plus RL plus JXL. Okay, right. So magnitude of IL is equal to Vs divided by, what is that we have? Square root of Rs plus RL, both of them are real parts, whole square, plus imaginary part square. What is that? XS plus XL whole square. Okay, right. This is your magnitude of IL. Power is equal to what? Power is equal to magnitude of IL square. Power will be dissipated even though load is having pure resistance as well as impedance. Power will be dissipated only in the load resistance. So therefore, magnitude of IL squared into R. Power can dissipate only in the RL. Don't take excess also. Power cannot be dissipated in inductance or capacitance. Power can be dissipated only in the pure resistance. So magnitude of IL squared into RL, power is equal to Vs square divided by square of this one. Square of this one means what will you get? Rs plus RL whole square plus XS plus XL whole square. Square and square root gets cancelled into RL. Now, we'll have to differentiate with respect to both, because both of them are variable. First, you differentiate with respect to XS. Sorry, this is not XS. Sorry. This is XL. XS plus XL, correct. Okay, right. Now, what I should do? Differentiate with respect to XL as well as RL. Okay, right. Now, what is that? For maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when the load impedance is equal to source impedance, we said. In this, we have two variables are there. First, you differentiate with respect to XL and differentiate with respect to RL. So dP by dXL should be equal to 0. Call this as equation number 1. Differentiate with respect to XL. Therefore, what will you get? Which is nothing but equal to differentiate with respect to XL. So what will you get? Denominator whole square, Rs plus RL whole square plus XS plus XL whole square. Denominator into d by dx of numerator. I am differentiating with respect to XL. Denominator, we don't have XL term, therefore it is 0, constant, minus differentiating with respect to XL, we don't have XL term at all, it is 0, minus numerator, Vs square into RL into d by dx of denominator. First term, there is no XL term, it becomes 0. Next, what is that we have? This one, 2 into XS plus XL into differentiation of XS is 0, differentiation XL is 1. Okay, right? This should be equated to 0. Cross multiply it, it will become 0. Now, what is that we have left out? Minus Vs square into 2RL into XS, 2RL into XS plus XL is equal to 0. divide throughout by, this is RL is also constant, 2 is also constant, Vs square is also constant. Divide throughout by, divide by minus Vs square into 2RL. This, all these things will become 1. Therefore, what will you get? XS plus XL is equal to 0. Therefore, XL is equal to minus XS. So this is one condition, we got it. Now, go for the next condition. Substitute this condition in equation number 1. Substituting in 1. Equation 1 we have, substitute that. So therefore, P is equal to what? Vs square into RL divided by Rs plus RL whole square into, what is that we have? XS, you write as it is. XL is what? Minus XS whole square. Minus XS whole square. And this will become 0, XS minus XS. I have substituted this condition. If you substitute that condition in this equation, XL will become minus XS, therefore this will become 0. Now what is that? We'll have to check both of them are variable. First I have differentiated with respect to XL. Now I am differentiating with respect to RL. So condition number 2 for the second one, dP by dRL should be equal to 0. Second one again. So now what is that you should have? dP by dRL is equal to denominator whole square, Rs plus RL whole square, whole to the power of 4. Denominator Rs plus RL whole square into d by dx of numerator Vs square minus numerator andre Vs squared into RL into d by dx of denominator 2 into Rs plus RL. 2 into Rs plus RL into differentiation of Rs plus RL. Rs is 0, RL is 1, and this should be equated to 0. So take Rs plus RL common, this one, and this is cube times gets cancelled. Then cross multiply it. After cancelling, you cross multiply it. That is better. So therefore, what will you get? That will become 0. Denominator. So now what is that we get? Rs Vs square. Vs square you can take common into Rs plus RL minus 2RL is equal to 0. So divide by Vs square. Then what will you get? Rs, RL minus 2RL, Rs minus RL is equal to 0. Therefore, RL is equal to Rs. That is the condition. Okay, 2 conditions we got it. Combine those 2 conditions, you will get it. What is ZL? So we have, according to that, what is that you can write it? RL is equal to Rs, we said. Now, what is that you can write it? ZL is equal to what? RL plus JXL. ZL is equal to. Substitute that. ZL should be equal to ZL. Substitute for RL. RL is equal to what? Rs. Substitute for both the conditions, RL and XL conditions you substitute. What is that we have? RL is equal to what? Rs. RL is equal to Rs, I am substituting here. Plus J into, what is XL? XL is nothing but equal to minus XS. Therefore, ZL is equal to Rs minus JXS. Okay, right. This is nothing but equal to, ZL is equal to, Rs minus JXS is complex conjugate of Zs, no? Complex conjugate of Zs, because this is because of what? We know that Zs is equal to Rs plus JXS. Therefore, Zs star, complex conjugate of this one is what? Complex conjugate of x plus jy is x minus jy. Therefore, complex conjugate of Rs plus JXS is what? Rs minus JXS. Therefore, for maximum power transfer, when the load as well as source is having impedance, then load impedance is equal to complex conjugate of source impedance. When they in the examination, when they ask this question, stating that state and prove maximum power transfer theorem for AC circuits, or if the question is state and true maximum power transfer theorem, when the load is having impedance and source is also having impedance, then you go for this one. Sometimes what they do, no, 5 marks they'll ask, state and true maximum power transfer theorem, then don't go for this one. Then you simple circuit is there, no, pure resistance, that you do it. Okay. When in the examination, if they ask for AC circuits, or if they say that load as well as source is having impedance, then you do this derivation. Otherwise, do the first one, 5 marks. If they ask this one, no, 7 to 8 marks, that's about the proof of the maximum power transfer theorem. In the examination, questions on the maximum power, maximum type of questions are there, and all of them are very simple. And this plays an important role in electronics and communication engineering. It may be, what is that? Many applications are there in our electronics in maximum power transfer theorem. For example, there is a speaker and there is an amplifier. When the maximum power will be transferred from source to the speaker or amplifier to the speaker, when the impedance of the load, impedance of the speaker is matching with the impedance of the amplifier, then we go for, what is that? Maximum power will be transferred. That is the reason whenever we have an amplifier and a speaker, the speaker impedance should match. If the impedance is not matching, we are going for impedance matching amplifier like voltage follower or Darlington pair amplifier or bootstrap amplifier. These amplifier will use it to match the impedance with the speaker impedance with the amplifier. Not only that, even in the 6th semester, you are going to study one antenna subject. Maximum antenna is the one which is going to radiate the signal to the space. Maximum power will be transferred from source. Source is your antenna and load is your space. Maximum power will be transferred from antenna to the space. When the impedance of the space is matching with the impedance of the antenna, then the maximum power will be transferred. Not only that, when you are receiving the signal from the space to the your receiver, there will be an antenna, receiving antenna. Maximum power will be transferred from space to your antenna, your receiver. The impedance of the space is matching with the impedance of the receiving antenna. That's how we are having the different design of the antennas are there. We'll be studying in the 6th semester variety of antennas, wherein the antennas are designed in such a fashion that the impedance of this space and the antenna should match, so that maximum power will be transferred from source to the load. Okay, right? So this is all very important concepts in the electronics and communication. Maximum places we are going to use this concept, right? So that's why, as the application part of it, maximum power transfer theorem plays an important role in the application, right? Now let us go for the problems on this concept. Okay, right. Now, we shall check it out in the latest examination papers. Okay, right. The 10 marks question is there from August, September 2020 itself. August, September 2020. It is a 10 marks question. Find the value of RL. The question is like this. Find the value of RL for the network shown in figure that results in a maximum power transfer. Also find the value of the maximum power. Okay. See, whenever we have this kind of questions, observe carefully. I'll write down the circuit diagram. Two Vx, 1 kilo ohm, RL plus minus Vx, 12 volts, 1 kilo ohm. Okay, right. Whenever they ask this kind of questions, no, what you should do is you will have to know the load resistance. If you want to know the load resistance, for write down, see, they'll ask the question in such a fashion that it should be a combination of Thevenin's as well as maximum power transfer theorem. So you should know Thevenin's theorem, then only you can do it. That means you will have to find out the Thevenin's equivalent so that you will get the load resistance, source resistance. Then we can make the load resistance, and we will have to find out the power. So therefore, first we will have to find out the Thevenin's equivalent for this. So that means in this one now he is checking the capability of the student for maximum power transfer theorem, because since we have dependent sources there, we'll have to find out the Norton's current V Thevenin, because ZTH is equal to VTH divided by I Norton for the dependent source. Therefore, he is trying to check your capability to know whether you know Thevenin's, Norton's as well as maximum power theorem. Just if you know maximum power transfer theorem, you cannot do this problem. So therefore, you cannot skip any theorem because all of them are interlinked. So therefore, carefully you do it. So now what is that we have? First you write down the Thevenin's equivalent. This is the load. This will have to make it open. So now what is that you should do? First step to find VTH. You will see that I'll do Thevenin's, Norton's maximum power transfer theorem. So now what is that we have? Plus minus one resistance. Okay, right. You keep it open because load resistance is there. Plus minus Vx 1 kilo ohm 2 Vx, and this is your VTH. Thevenin's voltage 12 volts. 12 volts is there. Okay, right. Now you apply the KVL. KVL will be for this is open means this is the KVL we have to. You find it as IL. Start from this point. Okay, what is this value? 1 kilo ohm, sorry. Start from this point. Minus 1K, minus same direction, minus 1K into I, minus 1K into I, minus 2Vx plus 12 is equal to 0. What is Vx? But Vx is equal to what? Vx is going, current is going from where to where? Higher potential to lower potential. Therefore, it is the right direction. You will get plus 1K into I. Substitute in this equation. What will you get? Minus 1K into I, minus 1K into I, minus 2 into 1K into I plus 12 is equal to 0. So therefore, what is that? You can write it minus 4K. Minus 4K agutala? Minus K, 1K, minus 1K, minus 2K. Minus 4K into I is equal to minus 12. Correct, madam? Okay, right. So this is 3 times. Therefore, I is equal to 3 divided by 1K, which is equal to 3 milliamps. Correct, madam? I is equal to 3 milliamps, we get it. Therefore, VTH is equal to what? This is your terminal A, this is your terminal B. B to A we should go. Either you should go this way or it is go this way. Anything is fine. I'll go this way. This is easy because no independent source is there. Here dependent source is there. We'll have to substitute for Vx. Then also you'll get the same answer. But I'll go easy path. This is the one where there is the only independent source is there. Therefore, VTH is equal to minus to plus is plus 12. And same direction here, minus 1K into I. VTH is equal to 12 minus 1K into I andre 3 milli. Milli and kilo gets cancelled. 12 minus 3 is 9. VTH is equal to 9 volts. 9 volts, we get it. Next, to find I Norton. Okay, right. To find I Norton, what you should do? Short circuit current plus minus plus minus 2Vx 1K plus minus 1K Vx 12 volts This is your short circuit current IN. Okay, right. Apply KVL. This is your I1. This is your I2. Okay, right. So this current is nothing but equal to I1 minus I2. Okay, right. Now what is that? KVL to loop 1. KVL to loop 1. What will you get? Start from this point, minus 1K. Minus 1K into I1. Minus 1K into I1. Here we don't have any resistance at all. Plus 12 is equal to. Plus 12 is equal to 0. You should be very much careful. Here we don't have any resistance at all. Minus 1K into I1 plus 12 is equal to 0. Therefore, minus 1K into I1 is equal to minus 12. Cancel this one. Therefore, I1 is equal to 12 milliamps. K will be coming to denominator. When K goes to numerator, milli you will get it. 12 milliamps. Next, KVL to loop 2. KVL to loop 2. KVL to loop 2. Starting from this point, what is that we have? Minus 1K into I2. Minus 1K into I2. Plus 2 minus is minus Vx. Minus 2 Vx. Okay, right. Is equal to 0. Here we don't have any resistance at all. Then why do we need to find IN? We need this. So I1 minus I2. That's all. But what is Vx? But Vx is equal to what? Vx is current is going from where to where? Higher potential to lower potential. Therefore, what is that? Current direction is there. Therefore, 1K into I1 is your Vx. 1K into I1 you will get it. So therefore, substitute that minus 1K into I2 minus 2 into 1K into I1 is equal to 0. So what will you get? Minus 2. Okay, minus divide throughout by. So 2K into I1 plus 1K into I2 is equal to 0. We know I1 now, substitute that. 2K into 12 milli plus 1K into I2 is equal to 0. Milli and kilo gets cancelled. 1K into I2 is equal to 24. Transfer to right hand side, minus 24. Therefore, I2 is equal to K when it goes to denominator K will be going to the numerator. It becomes milli, minus 24 milliamps. Okay, right. I1 and I2 we got it. Now, what is I Norton? I Norton is equal to what? I Norton is equal to I1 minus I2. I1 minus I2. I1 minus I2, which is equal to I1 12 milli minus I2. Minus I2 is what? Minus of minus 24 milli. It will become what? 24 plus 12, 36 milliamps. 36 milliamps is the IN. Next, to find ZTH. ZTH is equal to VTH divided by I Norton. VTH is how much? Thevenin's is 9 divided by 36 milli. 9 volts divided by 36 milli. 4 times, no? 4 times. 1 by 4 is 0.25 K. 0.25 K is 250 ohms. 0.25 kilo, which is nothing but equal to 250 ohms. Is it okay, madam? 250 ohms is ZTH. Now, once you get the ZTH, write down the Thevenin's equivalent. Thevenin's equivalent. Thevenin's equivalent is what? A voltage source in series with a resistance, okay, which is connected to a load RL. So the RL is the load which we have removed here. So now I have taken this one as A and this is B. This load terminals becomes A and B here. And source impedance is how much? Source voltage, sorry, VTH. VTH is 9 volts. 9 volts. And this one is what? ZTH is 250 ohms. Okay, right, 250 ohms. By maximum power transfer theorem, MPT, maximum power transfer theorem, maximum power will be transferred when RL is equal to RS. This is your RS now. Whatever is Z3H we said, no, that is your source resistance, and this is your load resistance, which is equal to 250 ohms. Okay, right. Next, you find out this is your maximum power will be transferred when load resistance is equal to source resistance. No, 250 and this is 250. We can write it. Therefore, IL is equal to what? Total voltage 9 divided by 250 plus 250. It will be 500. We have. How much is this, madam? Check, madam. 9 divided by 4.5 ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಾ 9 by 5 0.018 0.018 amps or 18 milliamps. 18 milliamps we get it. IL power is equal to what? Magnitude of IL squared into RL. IL square is what? 18 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square into 250 RL. How much is that? Or 0.018 ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ 0.018 whole square into 250. 0.081 ಏನು ಹಾಕೊಂಡು 0.018 0.018 whole square into 250 ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತು ಮೇಡಮ್? 0.081 watts or P max is equal to 81 milliwatts. That's how we should calculate it. So this will fetch you 10 marks. See this. So this problem is they asked to find the maximum power transfer through load using maximum power transfer theorem, he said. But to find that, what you should do, we'll have to find out for Thevenin's equivalent. And he has asked for power also. Therefore, we'll have to go Thevenin's voltage also required. So first we did VTH, then we did I Norton, then we got what is that? VTH divided by, since dependent source is there, VTH divided by I Norton we need to calculate, and ZTH we got. ZTH becomes your source impedance, and maximum power will be transferred from source to the load when the load resistance is equal to source impedance, and voltage source, your source voltage becomes your Thevenin's voltage, and then what will happen? IL is equal to voltage divided by total resistance. That is 250 plus 250. It is 500 we have taken, and Pmax is equal to magnitude of IL squared into RL. You will get Pmax as what? 81 milliwatts, right? That's how we should do it. Okay. So I'll stop at this level. I'll continue in the next class. Thank you.